ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਮੈਂ ਕਮਨੀਤ ਕੌਰ, ਕਮਨੀਤ ਅਕੈਡਮੀ ਤੇ BFI ਕੰਸਲਟੈਂਟਸ ਲੁਧਿਆਣਾ ਤੋਂ। ਅੱਜ ਇਸ ਵੀਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਨੰਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਆਫ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਦੀ। ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਨੰਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵਰਡਸ ਦੀ, ਉਹ PT ਦੇ ਰੀਡ ਅਲਾਊਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਹੈ। ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਨੰਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਸਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਫਲੂਐਂਸੀ ਸਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏਗੀ। ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਫਲੂਐਂਸੀ ਸਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ PT ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਕੋਰ ਵਧੀਆ ਰੀਡ ਅਲਾਊਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਟਲੀਸਟ ਆਣੇ ਸੌਖੇ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਜੇ ਰੀਡਿੰਗ ਸਪੀਕਿੰਗ ਇਨ PT, ਸਪੀਕਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਰੀਡ ਅਲਾਊਡ ਸਹੀ ਕਰਨੇ ਨੇ, ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਨੰਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੀ ਪਏਗਾ। ਤੇ ਇਸ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਨੰਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੀ ਡੀਟੇਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਸੋ ਬਿਫੋਰ that, make sure you subscribe to my channel. So let's start with the pronunciation of words in the PT read aloud. But ਇਹ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਰੂਲਸ ਐਕਸਪਲੇਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗੀ। ਸੋ ਰੂਲਸ ਕੀ ਨੇ? ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਾਊਂਡ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਐ। AE is ਐ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਐਕਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੇ ਐਂਗਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਐਂਡ ਐਪਲ। ਸੋ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਵਰਡ ਸਿੱਖੋਗੇ, ਇਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਐ ਤੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਸੋ ਐਂਗਲ, ਐਕਟ, ਐਪਲ। ਸੋ AE is ਐ in English. If we talk about the next, that is AU. AU is awe, as in fraud, as in halt, as in vault. Right? So AU ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਨੰਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ awe. ਇੱਕ O ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਇੱਕ O ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, but AU is awe, not O. ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੀ ਲ ਦੀ। ਰਾਈਟ? ਲ means LUH. LUH is not Lu, LUH is ਲ। Similarly, ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਜ ਪ੍ਰੋਨਾਉਂਸ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਾਂਗੇ JUH. JUH is not Jew, JUH is j. So let's revise. AE is a, AU is aw, JUH is j, and LUH is l. So make sure you know these 4 pronunciation of words at the moment, or you know these 4 sounds at the moment. Now I will start with the very first word with you. So you can see the first word on the screen. ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਇਹਦੀ pronunciation ਕਿਵੇਂ ਹੋਏਗੀ? So many students ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹ word ਹੈ, ਇਹਨੂੰ pronounce ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ exhilarating. Exhilarating. So exhilarating. But it's not exhilarating. ਹੁਣ ਇਹ word ਨੂੰ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮੈਂ break ਕਰਾਂਗੀ, ਇਹਨੂੰ break ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੀ? is ig. ਆਪਾਂ EX ਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ X ਨਹੀਂ ਕਵਾਂਗੇ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਵਾਂਗੇ IG. ig. Ig as in igloo. Right? Egg. ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ HI ਹੈ, that is not HI, he. That is Z. So EX is IG, HI is ZI. So it's ig, Z, L. ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਹੀ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਲ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ LUH ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ। So LUH is not Lu, LUH is L. And finally, rating. So if you speak this together, it will be exhilarating. 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 So you don't say exhilarating. L. LUH is not Lu, LUH is L. So it's exhilarating. 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 You can pause the video and speak it at least 5 times alone. So it's exhilarating. You have to speak it in a sentence. You will be pronouncing it as, I had an exhilarating experience in Paris. I had an exhilarating experience in Paris. had an exhilarating experience in Paris. So I hope you got to know how to pronounce this word, that is exhilarating. Let's move on to the second word for today. You can see the second word on the screen, and again बहुत सारे बच्चे ने ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇਸ word ਨੂੰ pronounce ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ exhausting. It's not hosting. ਹੁਣ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ word ਨੂੰ break ਕਰਾਂ again, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਪਿਛਲੇ word ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ex ਨੂੰ x ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ egg as in igloo. So it's egg. H-A-U-S is not horse. H-A-U-S is ZOS. So it's exhausting. So EX is IG, HAUS is ZAUS, and at last TING. So it's exhausting. Exhausting? No, it's exhausting. Reading module is mentally exhausting. So make sure you practice speaking these words in sentence as well. So you can repeat after me by saying, reading module is mentally exhausting. Reading module is mentally exhausting. Excellent. Let's move on to the next word for today. So when next word ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂ, you can see it's mentioned on the screen, and ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ pronounce ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ executive. Again, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ executive ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ. Cutive ਤਾਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਠੀਕ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ. Last part of the ਜਿਹੜਾ sentence ਹੈ ਉਹ mostly ਬੱਚੇ ਸਹੀ pronounce ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, that is cutive. But ਜਿਹੜਾ first part of the sentence ਹੈ, first half of the sentence ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਬੱਚੇ ਗਲਤ pronounce ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ. So ਮੇਰੀ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂ, again EX is not X, EX is IG. So X, it's IG as in igloo, as in previous words I have talked about. So it's executive. You can see, or you can try speaking this word at least 5 times after me. It's executive. Not executive. It's not executive. It's executive. So, how would you pronounce it in a sentence? He is an executive manager. 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 I hope you got to know how to pronounce this word. So you need to keep repeating it so that you get used to speaking this in the read aloud as well. So जिन्ने भी ਹੁਣ तक मैं words करा लियां, ਇਹ बहुत ही commonly ਤੁਹਾਡੇ read aloud ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ. Let's move on to the next word. So you can see this word on the screen, and ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ words ਨੂੰ ਗਲਤ pronounce ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ. So ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ pronounce ਕਰਾਂਗੇ? Again, ਬਾਕੀ words ਦੇ ਵਾਂਗ ਵੀ ਇਸ word ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਵਾਂਗੇ EX ਨਹੀਂ ਕਵਾਂਗੇ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਵਾਂਗੇ IG as in igloo. Right? So it's egg, A-double-G, that is Z. That is za. Double G, that is igza. Exaggerate. So if you see, it's G-E. G-E is not G. It is J. Exaggerate. So EX is IG, AG is ZAE, that is za. As I started, I had mentioned you in the starting of the video, AE is a, right? So IGZAE, that is exaggerate. So how will you say it in the sentence? He always exaggerates the talks. He always exaggerates the talks. He always exaggerates the talks. Let's move on to the next word. You can see this word on the screen. And so many students pronounce it as niche. Or sometimes they also pronounce it as Nietzsche. Or they sometimes also pronounce it as niche. It's neither Nietzsche, it's neither Nietzsche, it's neither Nietzsche, it's niche. So the CH at the end, it's actually not pronounced as CH, or CHE at the end is actually not pronounced as che. It's not ch or che, it's niche. Ni is N-double-E. So it is niche. Niche. How will you say it in a sentence? I would like to work in my knee. I would like to work in my knee. I would like to work in my niche. So it's not Nietzsche, it's not niche, it's not, niche, it's niche. Let's move on to the next word. So many students, again pronounce this word wrongly. They pronounce it as questionary. 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 But do you think it's the right way? No, it's actually not the right way. So this sh sound is very slight. So when you say quest, Q-U-E-S, it is Q-U-E-S-H. Question. Q-U-E-S is pronounced as Q-U-E-S-H. Quest is quesh. Quesh. After it, you see T-I-O-N. T-I-O-N is not shun, it's chun. Here in questionnaire, Q-U-E-S is quesh. T-I-O-N is chun. And at the end, N-A-I-R-E. That is nair. Nair as in mare. So the way we pronounce mare, similarly we're going to pronounce N-A-I-R-E, that is nair. So questionnaire. 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 So how would you say it in a sentence? Please fill the questionnaire form. Please fill the questionnaire form. So I hope you got to know how to pronounce that word. Let's move on to the next word for today. So how do you pronounce this word? This word, I would say, has a very complicated pronunciation. It's totally opposite to how you can see it on the screen. So if you just go about it literally, you will say it is genre, right? It is genre, but it's not genre, it's yawner. So yawn as it when we are feeling sleepy. So that is yawn. So it's yawnra. So G-E-N is Y-A-W-N. That is yawn. So it's yawnra. It's yawnra. Funny or strange, right? But that's how this language is. Anyways, so how will you pronounce this in the sentence? Like, I like classical yawner. Or I like classical yawner. I like classical yawner. Let's move on to the next word. You might be pronouncing this word as, Islay. Some also pronounce it as Islay. Some also pronounce it as Islay. But it's neither of these. This word is pronounced as Isle. Isle. Isle means A alone and I-double-L-L together. So it's Isle. 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 He walked his daughter down the aisle. He walked his daughter down the aisle. So that is how you pronounce aisle. Next word, especially if I talk about Indians, they have, this wrong habit of pronouncing this word wrongly. So they would say data, data science, data storage. But it's not data, it's data. So D-A, it's D-A-Y. The way we pronounce day, the first half of the sentence we will be pronounced as day. Data, data, data. So it's data. So data science is a flourishing field. Data science is a flourishing field. Data science is a flourishing field. Let's move on to the next word for today. So many students confuse between these two words. Now, what are these two words? So if I talk about them, they have mentioned two words on the screen. How do you pronounce them? Right? So the first one is pronounced as assess, and the second one is pronounced as access. Let's talk about the first one first of all. So it's assess. So very easy to pronounce. So you simply say it's not a, it's not a, it's simply and the cess tax, CESS. Simply you pronounce assess, assess. I need to assess his performance. I need to assess his performance. I need to assess his performance. This is how you pronounce this word. Last but not the least, this is access. So the very first alphabet, that is A, was pronounced as O. But in access, A is pronounced as A. A is pronounced as A. So it's access. Access. C is not C, C is C. Double C, A double C. The first C is C and the second C is So. So it's access. Cess. People in India have access to all the basic facilities. People in India have access to all the basic facilities. So I hope you got to know how to pronounce these words. Let's revise it again from the very first word. Firstly, we'll be pronouncing the word alone, and the second time, we will be pronouncing this word in a sentence. So, the very first word is exhilarating. I had an exhilarating experience in Paris. The second word, exhausting. Reading module is mentally exhausting. Third word, executive. He is an executive manager. Next one is exaggerate. Exaggerate. So exaggerate is basically he always exaggerate the things. He always exaggerate the things. Next one is niche. Niche. I would like to work in my niche. Next one is questionnaire. Questionnaire. Please fill this questionnaire form. Please fill this questionnaire form. Next one is genre. Genre. I like classical genre. I like classical genre. I like classical genre. Next one is aisle. He walked his daughter down the aisle. He walked his daughter down the aisle. Next one is data. So data science is a flourishing field. Data science is a flourishing field. Next one is assess. I need to assess his performance. I need to assess his performance. Last but not the least, it's access. It's access. People in India have access to all the basic facilities. People in India have access to all the basic facilities. People in India have access to all the basic facilities. Well, it might be tiring for you, but gradually, if you start learning these words in a particular way, the method that I have told you, speaking correctly with the right pronunciation is absolutely not going to be a difficult task for you. So try to start learning these words this way. ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਹੀ pronunciation ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ words ਨੂੰ break ਕਰਕੇ ਆਪਣੀ pronunciation ਨੂੰ ਠੀਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਏਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਹੀ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ words ਨੂੰ pronounce ਕਰ ਸਕੋ। 15-20 ਵਾਰੀ ਰੀਡ ਲਾਊਡ ਬੋਲ ਕੇ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ words ਸਹੀ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ pronounce ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ, ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਾਇਰ ਸਕੋਰਸ ਦੀ ਏਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ PT ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਸੇ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ words ਨੂੰ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਥੋੜੀ ਰੀਡ ਲਾਊਡ ਦਊਂਗੀ। ਉਹ ਰੀਡ ਲਾਊਡ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਾਸਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ pronounce ਕਰੋ। ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ words ਕੀਤੇ ਹੈ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ sentences ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ pronounce ਕਰੋ ਐਂਡ ਦੇਖੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏ। ਐਂਡ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏ, ਮੇਕ ਸ਼ੋਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਰੀਡ ਲਾਊਡ ਨੂੰ ਐਟਲੀਸਟ 5 ਵਾਰੀ ਬੋਲੋ ਸਹੀ pronunciation ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੰਪਰੂਵਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਜਲਦੀ ਹੋਵੇ। And let me know in the comment section whether you find this video useful or not. And make sure don't forget to follow or subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video next week.